Good evening, and welcome to tonight's presentation, From the Quarries, an archive of Masonic lore. Among the Masonic writers of the 19th century, there was one who had, during his lifetime, a tremendous following all over the world, and even now his statements, although uncorroborated, are often quoted as historical facts. This author was Dr. George Oliver. During his Masonic career, Dr. Oliver probably wrote more books upon Freemasonry than any other brother has done. Among his many Masonic publications was the 1849 The Book of the Lodge, and the following is a collection of moral aphorisms taken from that work for the contemplation and benefit of Freemasons everywhere. If you remain silent when Freemasonry is attacked, you condemn by your actions what your conscience approves. The benefits to be derived from Masonry are well described by Ovid and Horace when they say, "To have learned the liberal arts faithfully softens the manners and operates as a fine corrector of ill nature, envy, and anger." To subdue the passions has been the universal aim of all mankind. All have placed their hopes upon it, and hence sprang the first idea of the Know Thyself, which was inscribed on the portal of heathen temples, that it might prove a stimulus to virtue, of which it was the first lesson, and lead to the desirable consummation in which all excellence was blended, of subduing the passions. If you intend to pursue the study of Masonry to any beneficial result, it is indispensable that you attend the lodge regularly. This is your apprenticeship, and without it you will never become a bright Mason. There is no royal road to science. A lodge is not to be understood simply as a place where Masons assemble for the dispatch of business, but of the aggregate body of its members. The latter is, strictly speaking, the lodge. The former is only the lodge room. If you mean to attend your lodge, be there at the hour mentioned in the summons. Whoever is late disturbs the brethren and interrupts the business of the lodge. When seated, recollect your situation. If you are an officer, do your duty and do nothing more. If you are simply a brother, your business is to hear and not to speak. An officious interference is unbecoming in a Mason. It may do harm and cannot, by any possibility, be productive of good. Be always obedient to the chair. Obedience is a virtue of the greatest importance to your own character as a Mason and to the general welfare of the lodge. Without obedience, wisdom would be inoperative, strength would lose its power, and beauty its grace, and confusion and discord would soon banish the occupants of the holy ground. Never, by any chance or persuasion, suffer yourself to be inveigled into a party hostile to the officers in charge of the lodge. If you do, you will be a marked man, and your progress in Masonry will be rendered doubtful, if not altogether prevented. During the period when serious business occupies the attention of the brethren, you must not leave your seat or engage in conversation with your neighbours, not even in whispers. Neither should you move the chair or bench on which you are seated, or make any other noise to disturb the master or his officers in the orderly execution of their respective duties. Silence is the leading characteristic of a well-regulated lodge. I have known many good lodges spoiled for want of due attention to these trifling particulars. Never enter into a dispute with a Cowan. Like the deaf adder, he will stop his ears and refuse to hear the voice of the charmer, charm he ever so wisely. No matter how clear are your facts, or how convincing your arguments, still he will turn an incredulous ear to your reasoning. Though you anxiously cry out, "Oh, hear us!" and even cut yourselves with knives and lancets to bespeak his attention, there will be neither voice, nor any answer, nor any that regardeth. You may as well endeavour to extinguish the sun by pelting it with snowballs, or cut rocks to pieces with a razor, as to make any genial impression on the mind of a professed Cowan. Silence, secrecy, and calmness of temper are the unmistakable marks of a genuine Mason. If you hear anyone make incessant boast of his knowledge, you may set him down as an empty chatterer. Noise is not wisdom. Those who ostentatiously proclaim their own merits may for a time enjoy the satisfaction of deceit, yet in the end their pretensions are sure to be unmasked. Do you hear a man boast of his abilities, his attainments, his dignity, or his position in life? Entrust him not with your secrets. When in the lodge, beware of contentious brethren. Truth is as little an object with them as brotherly love. They will wrangle against truth as freely as against error. Whether defeated or victorious, they will still argue and quarrel, question and dispute, until they have banished every right-minded brother from the lodge. How many disputes arise out of trifles, and how greatly would they be diminished if everyone would deliberately ask himself this question: whether it is better to sacrifice a point which is of no value, or lose a friend more precious than rubies. Before you pronounce a man to be a good Mason, let him pass the chair. That is the test which will infallibly display both virtues and failing, mental imbecility and moral strength. If he passes through his year of apparent honour, but real trial, creditably, he will have nobly earned the character of a worthy and intelligent Mason. When a Cowan criticises the science, answer him not, but listen attentively to his words. They may, perchance, recall some point, part, or secret to your recollection, which has escaped your notice. For the castigations of the Cowan are not without their use and benefit. Like the toad, ugly and venomous, which wears a precious jewel in its head. Esteem the brother who takes pleasure in acts of charity and never babbles about it. Take him to your bosom and cherish him as a credit to Masonry and an honour to mankind. He is a wise brother indeed who knows how to conclude a speech when he has said all that is pertinent to the subject. The great secret for improving memory may be found in exercise, practice, and labour. Nothing is so much improved by care or injured by neglect as the memory. As the lodge is opened with the rising sun in the name of the GAOTU and closed at its setting in peace, harmony, and brotherly love, so, if you have any animosity against a brother Mason, let not the sun sink in the west without being witness to your reconciliation. Early explanations prevent long continued enmities.